We're also hearing from the Nigeria Police first, saying that 22,000 officers have now been deployed to provide security during the governorship election in Ondo State. Inspector General of Police was represented by the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 17, Abiodun Ashabi, at a stakeholders meeting held in Akure, asked leaders of political parties to call their members to order, stating that police would work with other security agencies to ensure a peaceful poll. Let's get to the politics of things. Joining me on the show today is Eddy Olafeso, Director General of the PDP campaign organization in Ondo. Thank you for joining us on the program this evening, Mr. Olafeso.
I'm the chairman of the campaign council, sir, for the People's Democratic Party Governorship Campaign Council.
Chairman Campaign Council.
Council, yeah, People's Democratic Party. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
All right. Awesome. Let's get to it. Some say the last time your party won a proper governorship election in Ondo was 15 years ago with Olusegun Agago, and that what happens thereafter was just handed over to the PDP as a gift. How confident are you that the PDP is prepared for this one ahead of the 16th November election?
For a sense of history, I have to correct that impression that, it was 15 years ago. Governor Olufeso was a member of the People's Democratic Party before the split of the party. And he returned to the party eventually. And from there on, it was People's Democratic government until 2016 when he left. So the reality of it is that, there's a disconnect. But then we're so ready now.
Now they're back.
Hello?
I'm with you. I'm wondering where that interruption is coming from myself, but go ahead.
I'm surprised too. I'm surprised. So, my dear brother, PDP is an established party in Ondo State with all the structures intact, with the people far more united and more decisive than ever before to clinch the governorship ticket at this moment. It is clear that we've learned our lessons from the past, and we're doing the best we can to ensure that this is our moment and nothing can change it.
I'm sure you know exactly what we're talking about as per Governor Mimiko, the fact that his first term was won on the platform of the Labour Party. But let's move away from there. The Governor Eddy, his position is that the PDP no longer exists in the state and that many of your party's bigwigs have already defected to the APC, including loyalists of former Governor Mimiko that we just talked about.
Are there people in this country that has two votes at the same time, no matter your status in society? So, in the political process, democracy is about the people. The people, will speak November 16, and you know exactly where their interest lies. And let me tell you, every one of us lives in this country within the last 8 years plus one under the APC. And they have done enough work for us to be able to win this election effortlessly because they've made life impossible for virtually everybody. Every economic indices, every living condition is being plummeted. Nigerians are truly dying. I got a very, very serious experience yesterday in Ondo Market behind the Oba's Palace. You can see the jubilation wherever we go across the 18 local government of this state of the coming of the People's Democratic Party by the grace of God through the November 16 governorship election. So I disagree totally with you that because I hear that you have said there is nobody in PDP. Is this somebody? He stood for 2 hours in a debate with our candidate, Alfred Agbolajai, and had one single thing to tell the people of Ondo State that he's been able to do within the last 10 months, became a substantive, governor of the state after the death of late Akeredolu.
I hear you clearly.
He got over 130 billion naira from the federal government, the palliative given by the federal government, and he did nothing with it. So how do you think the Ondo State people will want to continue with such, very, very, terrible performance? For us here, we know what is going on. For people outside, If propaganda can persuade, things to happen differently, probably it would. But in the reality of this election is about the people. It's about the people of Ondo State and the APC, and their lackluster performance since they've been in office here. So
I hear you clearly, Mr. Olafeso.
We are ready. We are ready.
Yes.
Excuse me. We're ready. We're organized. We are very committed. Yes, Mimiko and few people may have left. And the truth is that gave us the opportunity. I told you I'm the chairman of the campaign council because I know fully well that every of our people are ready. They are working very hard. We don't have the fifth columnist amongst us, and we are sure of winning this election.
I hear you clearly. I'm sure you meant saying you disagree with the governor. It wasn't me saying that. I have nothing against the PDP and its candidates in this election. I was just quoting to you what Mr. Governor said. Ahead of an election like this against an incumbent.
Are you quoting for me what Mr. Governor said? You told me he said that there is nobody in the party, and I replied that we are more stable, we are there, we are more focused in clinching power for the people on the street. You know what the people are going
I was quoting to you. Just a minute, Mr. Olafeso.
Yeah.
I was quoting to you what Mr. Governor said to get your reaction, to give you the opportunity to react to and then to balance that opinion. But let's take a short break, and then we'll be back with more. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. Eddy Olafeso is chairman, PDP Campaign Council in Ondo State. Thank you for staying the course on the program. You established earlier that indeed the PDP exists largely in Ondo. I just want some clarity, because when it comes to election like this against an incumbent party, it matters the number of people you have under your umbrella as a party, and I'm choosing that word carefully because we're talking to the PDP. Does Agbola Ajayi have the backing of former Governor Mimiko ahead of this election?
Agbola Ajayi has the backing of the people of Ondo State. You mentioned one individual. Excuse me, let's get this serious. This is about the people's business. Electing somebody to take over a position is far beyond an individual. And let me tell you, there's an experience that we're going through here. For the very first time in Ondo State, you have very thousands of people from the ruling party decamping to the People's Democratic Party. Agbola Ajayi, because of the fact that he transferred the party before joining us, has the opportunity and the privilege of working with several thousands of people who believe in his leadership. He demonstrated it during the debate. He has demonstrated on the field. I've been with him since July the 4th when we were announced as the chairman of this campaign council. I'm a very serious person in all ramifications. And if I believe that Agbola does not have a chance to become the chairman of to become the governor of Ondo State, and his capacity to be able to live through the 7-point agenda he has created of the people, I won't waste my time. For your information, the people are far, far more powerful than an individual. So if you're thinking that maybe, probably, and I'm not going to speak for Dr. Segun Mimiko because he has his choice, you invite him anytime and ask questions about his relationship with Agbola Ajayi. But as far as the party is concerned here in Ondo State, we are very satisfied with his performance. He's doing exceedingly well. He's connecting with the people. We are very sure and confident that the people will vote for Agbola Ajayi. I am not a name dropper, and it's not important in politics. The people power is second to God. And that is what I'm telling you this evening, that Agbola has the backing of the people of Ondo State.
All right, let's talk about PDP's trust in INEC's integrity ahead of this election. Recall that in one of your campaigns, the Oyo State Governor had talked about concerns about the resident electoral commissioner. A stakeholders meeting held recently, and we had some stakeholders at that meeting actually having some good words to say about the resident electoral commissioner. Has that been resolved now? It's
not resolved. We still stand on our position that if INEC will want to redeem its image his integrity and wants to ensure that people believe in the fairness and the equity of the body to do election in Ondo State. They must Mrs. Toyin Babalola must recuse himself. He lived in this state for the last 30-something years. They live on number 23 Majekodumis in a part of this city. His parents are still there. But the reality of what we're saying is that if you're not recusing yourself, then you must make it abundantly clear that you're going to not be fair to all. If some people are celebrating her performance, it depends on the side the person turns to them. But we are watching, and we have told the body that what is critical and important is fairness and equity in every way too, and a playing field for all. Nobody comes to Ondo State and play games because we are beyond games. The reality of the country today and the reality in Ondo State is the suffering of the people, the impossibility they have made life.
All right. How
harrowing things have been for everybody. So for us, I picked this one personally with the chairman of the of INEC, and he assured me and the People's Democratic Party that they will stand by the rules. There are rules to this game, and the electoral law is critical and important, and that is the guiding law that actually takes care of the process of electing somebody into
quick one, Mr. Olafeso. Apart from her living in Ondo State, is there any concrete evidence that you have against her to prove otherwise that she's not going to be fair, in this exercise?
Could we have taken a decision without considering certain factors?
I couldn't have assumed on your behalf if you are not forthcoming with proof.
Excuse me. This is what I'm explaining to you, my brother. First of all, we're not insane to the point of just picking up an issue. There is a law guiding INEC, and that law states that everybody must actually be above board in terms of relationship. And if you are in a state that you can actually vote and be voted for, your ability, to be independent will be questionable. And that's exactly what we're saying. Stick to the rules of the game and ensure that whatever the law says is what sticks out. Mrs. Toyin Babalola, without prejudice whatsoever, is a sister, and the truth is that we are not attacking her personality, but we are stating what the electoral law says concerning an individual that is a citizen of a state and participating as an umpire in an election that has effect on virtually everybody.
Absolutely, Mr. Olafeso. I think that you made your point very clear. There's been this back and forth on how your candidate performed in the last debate. There are concerns about some of the issues raised. We're going to find time to discuss that subsequently. But a big thank you, Chairman, PDP Campaign Council in Ondo State, Eddy Olafeso. Thank you for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See you again.
We're turning our attention now to the United States as we continue to follow up very closely with the presidential election there. That's right after this break. Stay with us, everyone.